It's a beautiful day here in Barbara's botanical studio. Come and join me for a little chat about my elevated Emily trousers. Hello there lovely sparkly ones, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sam and this is So Let's Sparkle with Sam. I hope you've had a wonderful week. So today I thought I'd sit down with a nice cup of tea, which is currently being made by the lovely baby Sparkles, and share my finished elevated Emily trousers from Atelier Jupe. So if you've been watching over the past few weeks, you'll know that I've been on a little bit of a journey and I've been making the Emily trousers as part of my Sew Ambassador role for Beyond the Pink Door. So they started as the bog standard Emily trousers and they became what I've affectionately calling them my elevated Emilys. I'll show you my finished trousers and I'll talk you through the changes that I've made. Now, you do have to forgive me. I have recorded this video over a number of weeks in the kind of making of the Emily's format. Some of the footage I've managed to find no problem. Some of the footage I've lost. So this is kind of edited together. It's kind of in a normal fly by the seat of my pants kind of way, edited together, and hopefully it'll all make sense. So yes. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that the Emily's by Atelier Jupe are the July's pattern of the month over at Beyond the Pink Door, where I am a Sew inspired ambassador. That means that if I manage to tempt you today to make your own pair of elevated Emily's, you can pick up the pattern with this month's pattern of the month discount. I'll pop all the details down below, but basically you get the 20% discount automatically at checkout. So I know that you will all be shouting at the screen, but what top are you wearing with the Emily's, Sam? And the top that I'm wearing with the Emily's is also in a fabric from Beyond the Pink Door, but this was from a subscription box, and I really love this fabric. Let me just stand up for you so you can see the full feathery effect. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I made the most of a very small remnant of the fabric by doing a tiny weeny, I don't know whether you can see that, tiny weeny rolled hem. Yeah, so absolutely love this top. And the pattern is, you've guessed it, it's the Lioness by Maison Fauve. This is fast becoming my absolute favourite pattern of all time. It is an easy peasy pattern to sew. It's I think it's quite elegant. I've kind of popped my beads on with it. You could pop a little gold chain and you instantly elevated an outfit. I think it is a perfect match for the elevated Emily's. And yeah, I'm definitely ready to go out for cocktails with the girls. I could, pop a different top on and I could go out to the office, and I just think it is a really lovely top. So it is the Lioness by Maison Fauve. Now this goes from sizes 34 to 52, and I basically did a down and dirty bust adjustment. So because I'm smaller here than I am here, and this top is cut on the bias, so and there's no bust start. So I thought, right, I'm not going to be able to do my normal bust adjustment. So where the facings finish quite high up, so the facings finish here. So as soon as I got to here, then I graded out to where my bust measurements. So I took my top high bust measurements, went from them, went out to my full bust measurements, and then went back in again. And I finished it all with French seams. So actually maybe next time I might not go in quite so much, because if you are finishing with French seams, which makes a beautiful finish to this kind of fabric, but it's only 1 centimetre seam allowance on Maison Fauve, and I find that you need 1.5 for French seams, to be, you know, to be on the safe side, as it were. But yeah, it's a beautiful top. It's the Lioness. I'm literally just making these with every 1 meter remnant of fabric that I can find. I will just read what it says. A regal silhouette defined by effortless femininity. The Lioness top feels like a true second skin. It's beautifully draped, cowl neckline and sculpted lines are created by a signature couture technique. The bias cut, the wide straps ensure all day comfort and make it easy to wear with a bra. And as you can see, I have to wear a bra, you can't see it. Whether in a plain fabric or a print, it slips into any wardrobe while keeping its distinctive 90s allure. And I love it. So yeah, it is the Lioness top by Maison Fauve. So grab yourself a cuppa, get yourself comfortable, and let's add a little bit of sparkle to the Emily's. Hello, hello, hello. So it's me on the hottest day in June in the UK. I am very, very hot. I have literally got the smallest amount of clothes on and still be decent in front of the camera. So I have a ready to wear vest top, you know, just an oldie but a goodie that I feel very supported in, and then a little pair of gingham shorts. I can't remember what pattern these are, but they were when I was toiling a trouser, and I just made the shorts in this little bit of gingham. The only thing I'm happy about wearing is my tape measure today, because it's just too hot for anything else. But hey, I am here, and the reason that I am here is that I am making a trouser pattern, which is the pattern of the month for the July pattern for Beyond the Pink Door. And I thought I would take you along on my processes. So yeah, so the first thing that I need to do is make a little toile. So I've cut the short version. The pattern is the Emily trousers by Atelier Jupe. I have decided what size I am. I'm cutting a 10, and I've just cut the shorts. So basically, at the lines, I've just cut it off. I've just kind of measured down. I measured down on a pair of my ready to wear shorts. I measured down the crotch line where I was happy for them to fall. I measured down the same on the pattern piece and then cut those. Made sure that the front and the back shored up and cut those. But everything else I cut as per pattern instructions. So just a little note, because I don't want you to slip up in the same way that I nearly did with the Emily pattern. So bear with me. I just left my pattern pieces on the wrong side of the table. So you have pattern pieces. So you have pattern piece 5, you have pattern piece 3 and pattern piece 4. And all of these have no instructions on them about what you need to cut out. So, and on the lay plans, I didn't find it very clear. So just so that you know, the section 5 is the tie that goes on the front, and you need 2 sets of these. So you need 2 lots of 2. So you need 4 pieces in total for number 5, 2 pairs, 4 pieces. And then on these patterns, this marking here means cut on the fold. It doesn't say on the fold, but that means cut on the fold. So you have to put that piece on the fold of your fabric, and you need to cut 2. You need to cut 1 and then cut another one, and the same with this one. Cut 1 on the fold of the fabric, cut 1 and cut another one. These are your front and back waistband pieces. And then this is the tie. Now, because I was very short on fabric to make my toile, just wanted to make them out of a bit of scrap linen, I just used a separate fabric for these, because I wouldn't have been able to get these out of the linen fabric. So that is something that you could do if you wanted to for the Emily trousers. Okay, so here are the toile. And as you can see, I've used scrap fabric from my little hack kind of kind of Ashton top hack from this lovely linen. And what I did was I used the scraps of linen to toile the Emily shorts, and I didn't quite have enough, so I just used this black, I'm not quite sure even what composition it is, but it was just in my stash and I thought that will be fine, and I used that for the pockets and then for these lovely ties. Now I'm in an ahhing about these ties. When I was getting changed, I quickly straightened my hair and I used my hair straighteners to straighten out the tie. I didn't know whether it was because the ties, I don't know, I just didn't know what to do with them. So I'm definitely going to think about that. But actually the fit is really good, and I don't actually need any of this because the fit themselves, they fit really nicely. Because the elastic goes all the way around, they're kind of just nicely soft here, but it kind of pulls it flat at the front. And then what you have got is you've got this elastic pulling in at the back, and then that's what gives you the nice shape across the bottom. Obviously I've taken a little bit out of here. So yeah, I think it also looks really cute as a co-ord. So yeah, so it is a toile for the fitting, but it's definitely a very wearable toile. I'm in an ahhing whether to go down a size, but I think I'll stick what I've got and see how we go. But yeah, overall, there we go. There's the Emily as shorts. I'm not going to do that for these. What I'm going to do them straight. Can you see? On the ironing board ready, hottest day, and I'm ironing. Yeah, that's how much I love sewing, because pressing makes things pretty. So I'm going to press that gorgeous viscose linen fabric that has been gifted to me by Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door to make my Emily's. So come along, watch me sweat. Let's make some Emily trousers. So the fabric that I'm using for this make is the Everyday Ease linen viscose from Beyond the Pink Door, and I've got it in this gorgeous aubergine colour. I think this colour is currently sold out, but Andrea has lots of other beautiful colours. It's made from 70% viscose and 30% linen. This fabric is beautifully soft and drapey and has the movement of viscose, but with the natural texture and gentle slub of linen. Right, it seems as soon as I put my hand in, it makes the colour look more like the colour actually is. So when I take my hand away, it goes bright pink. So apologies if that happens while I am showing you my Emily trousers. So it's the end of a bit of a sweaty day. And as you can see, they're all cut out. I've done the pleats that pleat towards the side seams. I put the pockets in. I put washi tape over the pleats. These are just... I've put washi tape on all of my pieces of fabric, including the back pieces, so that I know which is the right side, because it's very difficult to tell the right side from the wrong side. So this way I know. I have done those, and then I have done part 1 of the waistband. Now, what I've done, because I didn't like the ties on the toile that I did, I just found that they just didn't do anything for me, and they were just kind of hanging there, and they're probably going to end up down the loo or something, like, you know, attached to something. So I thought, well, I don't want to leave them off, because the ties is the detail in this pattern. So I wanted to do something a bit different. So what I've done is I have made the ties, but I've looped them over. And then I've used this gorgeous little belt loop. Now this does actually undo, so it will work as a belt. I actually got this in a kit for something else years ago and never used it, because I thought, well, that's a bit fancy. I don't know where to put that, but I think it goes absolutely beautifully with these trousers. Makes them more of a kind of going out pair of trousers rather than every day, but that is something that I do need in my wardrobe. And then I've just attached it exactly the same way as they've asked me to attach the ties, but I've done it as the belt. And I may hand stitch some of this bottom tie down. I'm going to see what it feels like once it's together. So all I need to do tomorrow is the other side of the waistband, and then put the trousers together, the waistband together, and put them all together. But yeah, pretty pleased with my day's work. Yeah, it's so funny that. Take that away and it's pink trousers. Put my hand back and they are aubergine trousers again. Don't you just love technology? See you tomorrow. So the size range on the Emily's is a European 34 to a European size 50. That's a UK 6 to 22. And that's a hip measurement of 92 centimetres to 127 centimetres. Now I went for the European size 38, which is a UK 10, and I went on my hip measurement. Now my hips actually measure about 101, 102 centimetres, and for the pattern it says 100 centimetres, but with the finished measurements on the hips of 111 centimetres, I thought that was plenty of ease, and I think I may even size down a little next time. I didn't grade out at the waist. The pattern suggestion, the measurement suggestions that I might need to grade out a little at the waist, but I just allowed the elastic to deal with my ever expanding tummy. Well, I have to say I am really pleased with how they have turned out. Yeah, with how the Emily's have turned out. I've really got myself a beautiful elevated pair of trousers that I can wear anywhere really, but they're definitely going to be my go-to going out trousers for sure. They already feel like one of those garments that are going to get worn over and over and over again, and I can see them working with so many different tops in my handmade wardrobe, and I'm adding new tops all the time, which I absolutely love. Yeah, I'd love to know what you think. Have you made the Emily trousers? Are they going to go on your sewing wish list? And if today's video has inspired you to make your own pair, don't forget to check out the links in the description box. I've linked the pattern from Being on the Pink Door, and that will include your discount at the checkout. So you get 20%, and that's off the pattern and the printed AOs at the checkout automatically. So you don't have to do anything extra. If you've enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me today, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my sewing adventures. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Don't forget to sparkle. Bye for now.